kings and queens, your majesties. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others. Like always, many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You are loved, celebrated, and appreciated. So today I want us to look at how the Jewish people work with the Christian churches and their leaders in the destruction of man, how they work together in our destruction. When we tell you here that these religions are interwoven, it's not that we don't know what we are saying. It's from the little research, or maybe an intensive or extensive researches, that people will end up with, okay, from all what I've seen and I've gathered, these things have connection. There was a time we discussed how the Vatican is directly connected to the creation of Islam. A lot of Muslims were angry. Oh my, don't come to Islam. Islam is directly from God. God gave the religion. God is the one that wrote the Quran. Nobody wrote Quran. What? People said things. The height of it for me is how far we have gone into supporting these things that we don't know anything about. Have you done your own research? Have you sat and have another thought apart from the one you grew up with? No, because I wouldn't allow you to. They tell you it's blasphemy to think otherwise. You don't have the right to think for yourself. And they said you are going to hear, you will hear from this audio for yourself. Your Majesties, you will hear the truth from this audio. Why not allow you think for yourself is also part of their plan. And this is how they easily took your thinking faculties, and then they scare you with hell. Don't think, you go to hell. When I told you that it is a plan, that we should not think for ourselves, we should not assimilate things for ourselves, even when, why do you think that you were created with reasoning if you were not supposed to think for yourself in every aspect of life? Why? Is the source of life stupid to have given you sense, to give you brain, to wove that, the source of life took time, the creator took time to interwove everything in your head. That is to say, the source of life have given you everything you need to live. And some people tell you, don't use that one. Come, it's the one I tell you that you are supposed to believe. If you use that one, you will go to hell. And a lot of us, out of the fear of going to hell, we are being captured by day, tied into most of these things. We are directly or indirectly involved in all these things. Okay? Either consciously or not, we are part of these cults. Because it is our consciousness, our energy and vibration they are using. It's like they suck it and use it. So we become zombies. Because we're not thinking for ourselves, we are controlled by some people. You listen to this rabbi, it's a lot. I want you to brace yourself. Listen to this rabbi speak, and we'll take it up from there.
We've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years, since down to Adam's time. We take the children of our enemy, which is the white race, and we bring them to the basements in the synagogues, where we drain the blood and watch them die there. It's very similar to how we do the sacrifices that we do with the kosher butchering. And so we do that, and then we mix it with the Passover bread, and so we eat the blood of our enemies. And the bodies, we're not cannibals, so what we do is we take those, because we can make some shekels, and we give them to the slaughterhouses, and those are pounds and pounds and pounds of meat that we grind up in the sausage and the hamburger, and that's why we made those the most popular thing, sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch. And so all the goyim out here are really eating their children. And even when we say this outright and tell you people, you don't believe it. on the East Coast. But I'm wondering, how did you ever totally get control of these Christian churches who at one time told their congregations to stay away from you Jews? How did that happen? Well, our Father Lucifer, the number one thing of all the organizations out there on the earth that we would want to infiltrate and take over of Ugoyim, obviously, would be the churches. So we attacked them first, and we attacked them most. And we infiltrated the Catholic Church right from the very beginning. Why do you think the Pope and all the cardinals and the bishops wear a yarmulke? The white race never figures this out. And so then we took all your books that had all your scriptures in there, and we burned them. And then we wrote them in Latin so that you couldn't understand them. But we understood Latin because we're Jews and we're smart and we're educated. But you, Goyim out there, you never teach yourself. You don't self-teach. You're always looking for somebody else to do it for you. So you wind up being schleppers all your life. And so, anyway, 1,000 years later, when the bunch of the white race started to wake up in Europe, and they started to leave the Catholic Church, it was a terrible time because we weren't making as many shekels as we used to, so we had to put a stop to it. And so we had to come up with a plan B. And plan B, we formed the Jesuits. There was a nice boy, Ignatius Loyola, that he started the Jesuits. And so they decided to infiltrate all the Protestant churches out there. And as always, us Jews work our way to the top. And then we take over the money line, the shekel line, the most important line, the lifeline, the gold. And so we took that over. And so slowly but surely we teach the teachings, change them a little bit to where it's all run by the Catholic Church again, the Mother Church. It's your mother, but the Father Church is the synagogues in Israel and in the synagogues in New York. The war actually is between the white race, the children of Seth, against the children of Cain, of which you are. And we know that it's been written in the Aramaic and in all the ancient texts, you know this as well as I, that only one race is going to survive on the face of this earth, and you know it's the white race. Well, that's what your book says. Our book, the Talmud, says we're going to rule, and we're going to have a world of our own, and we're going to go out into space, and we're going to have a war with your father, and we're going to win this time.
Your Majesties, this is serious. I know a lot of you might have heard this interview. I'm going to leave the name on the screen because I don't want to pronounce something that YouTube will start looking for me. But there were a lot of things said here. And the truth is that when we tell you to self-teach, religion tell you, don't do that. It is the devil that wants you to self-teach you, like self-teach. Anything that has to do with self-teaching, self-knowledge, discovery for yourself, they tell you don't do it. They give you books that you need to go and check. They tell you there are books that you don't need to read. It's the devil that wrote that one. The one that we say you should read is God that wrote it. So a lot of us are captured, we are being tied to these beliefs. And you heard him clearly. He said, you don't self-teach. You always look for somebody to do it for you. And that's why they give you things that are wrong. You accept it and work with it. And you will not know that these things are not the truth. Why? Because you don't do research yourself. You see, I keep telling you, it's not everything Abigail can come here and tell you that you have to accept. Do your own. Immediately you hear Abigail say something about, go and do your own. Because the one you do for yourself is the one that will sink in better. And when you begin to learn, you discover by yourself and you learn yourself, is the best thing that you can ever do for yourself. But the moment you want to follow everybody's own, this person said, okay, the Bible has said we should do like this, let's do like that. You don't want to go against. You see, it is the devil. If you like, break the screen and come and catch me. It is the demonic forces, evil spirits. The being that is against the success of man, that is telling you not to read anything aside the Bible. Why? Because they know that if you read aside the Bible, you will catch them. You will catch them. I hope you heard from the horse's mouth. Okay? That they founded is like they are the, okay, they infiltrated the Catholic Church from the beginning. So the moment a system started organizing to be called the Catholic Church, already the Jews, okay, they've already started planning with them, working with them on how to use this new religion now to get more people. And the same thing they did with Islam. The Catholic Church is involved directly with Islam. The same way the Jews are involved directly with Christianity. I'm talking about Catholic Church because Christianity is sprung from that angle. There was a genuine something that started initially, and that's why those who were followers of Yeshua early were unalived. They were unalived, and those who took them out took hold of what they already started building. So from the beginning, what came to you is not even the right, is the adulterated one. And that's why they were ready to change everything. And most of you who are Christian don't even know that. The Jesus you say, Jesus, you are calling and you are telling me that Jesus is the one saving you. When you call the name Jesus, things vibrate in your life. That same Jesus existed first. The word Jesus was first heard in this world when the first ship arrived the shores of Alkebulan to carry slaves. That first ship that arrived, the name of that ship is Jesus. It is from there that this whole Jesus is my salvation, Jesus means salvation came in. Because they told people that when they hop on that ship name is Jesus. So when they hop on that ship, they will have salvation. And that's how they capture a lot of Africans. Many of you don't know. I have a video about that. So it's not today. It's not today. Okay? You can go check out Jesus of Lubeck. That is the first time the name Jesus was heard. So there was nothing like Jesus. I hope you are hearing me, Your Majesties. So these things are together. The Jews work with Christian churches and their leaders. With the Islamic world, they are working together to have control over man. And all this is seen in all the struggle of the ancient time past. Like I told you, the world have existed eons and eons of years ago. It's not today. These are the descendants of those beings that are disagreeable, that always want to cause chaos, cause problem. Every war that happens in the world, all the world wars that have taken place have a connection of these people. It's so, I don't know, but you heard the part where he said they drink the blood of man, of children. You hear that part? Did you hear that part? They share this blood when they are having their during Sabbath day. They are worshiping in their synagogue. It is this blood they share. How many days ago I was talking about eating the flesh and drinking the blood, and I asked you, is this